Skilling is completely dead. Now, what I mean by this is you can't really make a whole lot of money skilling anymore. It's all about PVM now. Let's take runecrafting as an example. Runecrafting used to be one of the most profitable ways of skilling. It was comparable with some of the PVM rates. You know, you can make up to 3 million GP an hour runecrafting, 2 to 3 million GP an hour if you were really good and efficient making the double nature runes, or even blood runes. If you know, with the new update, you could at least make 2 million GP an hour. And even with wrath runes, you can make, 2 million GP per hour with skilling, which is consistent all of the time. You know you're going to be bringing home that 2 million GP per hour. Now with updates, the thing is, skilling updates, they want to make skilling more fun, more enjoyable for the player base, which is totally fine, and I totally accept that and like that in the game. But usually these updates end up just destroying other methods. Let's take the Guardians of the Rift, for example. One of the best skilling updates I possibly think that we've ever had in old school RuneScape. It kind of revitalized runecrafting in a way where a lot of people like training the skill now. It's really fun for them. It provides an outfit. It gives you a ton of cool bonuses and just a whole different way of going ahead and training the normal, traditional, boring skill that's very slow. Makes it pretty decent experience rates and actually enjoyable. Now, there's no problem with this, besides the fact that it just ruins every other runecrafting method. At first, it was great, right? You get the outfit, which provides more runes per hour and whatever, but this update ended up making so many extra runes coming into the game. It's actually crazy. Just doing the Guardians of the Rift on this account, I gained thousands and thousands of the higher level runes. We're talking nature runes, cosmic runes, death runes. You just gain so many of the runes going for your runecrafting outfit, right? And with all these extra runes being added into the game, they're not coming out of the game any quicker than they used to be. So we have more runes in the game, they're gonna crash. Let's take a look at the blood rune right now. This is on the GE tracker of the last year of the blood runes, right? So they were around almost 400 GP, which was really good. Each rune being worth that much, right? And then they just started dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, and now they are actually 200 GP each. So they've literally halved in price. Now look at this, right? So you can actually go ahead and high elk a blood rune for 240 GP. You can sell it on the Grand Exchange for 200. So blood runes you can elk now, which is interesting. Another thing that I thought was interesting is you can sell blood runes to the shop in Alcrid for 200 GP each, and they can't really go below 200 GP each, right? Because you can sell them at the shop for that. So they're at rock bottom right now. We're also going to take a look at nature runes. As I was saying, they were 200 GP in the past year, fluctuating around this price. And now they are 100 GP, so they are literally halved in price as well. Probably the two most common runes that are crafted are halved in price in the past year alone. Now, this isn't obviously all Guardians of the Rift's fault. There's plenty of different reasons why the runes aren't being into the game as much. People aren't using them as much, right? With certain updates, people aren't using the scythe as much, which that took a lot of blood runes out of the game, right? There's just been so many different updates where people don't use runes as much, right? Range seems to be the meta right now for combat. And it's overall just, you can't make as much money anymore because there's just so many extra runes floating around the game. Now, I believe this all started out when Iron Man was introduced into the game. Now, I'm not hating on Iron Man at all. I love Iron Man mode. It's kind of really the only way I really love playing the game. I do have this main account here, but I personally think Iron Man is so much more enjoyable and so much more fun into the game. Now, the thing about Iron Man mode is certain items were super hard to go ahead and obtain. So, what Jagex ended up doing is releasing bosses like Zulrah, which just spit out resources. Zulrah has been nerfed like so many times. I think it's like 7 or 8 times the boss has been nerfed, but just look at what it spits out. Tons of runes, tons of herbs, tons of seeds, and here we go. Tons of skilling materials. We got pure essence, flax, yew logs, adamant bars, coal, dragon bones and mahogany logs, and as well as other materials like swamp tar, we got grapes, and even food. Now, if you really think about it, there's no problem with Ironman getting all of this items on their account, right? Because they need the consistent, like, pure essence drops to go ahead and train their runecrafting, or the grapes maybe to go ahead and train their cooking. But what happens when thousands upon thousands upon thousands of main accounts do this and farm the boss? It becomes easier and easier to get these items like U-logs. You could probably get more U-logs per hour killing Zulrah than actually chopping the tree itself, which in reality, it makes it dead content. Now, people still need to obviously train their wood cutting, right? But no one's going to chop yew trees in 2023 when they could just, you know, get way faster experience doing like teaks or whatever it might be. And then, you know, just kill Zulrah to get their U-logs or whatever it might be. Or just farm Zulrah, make a ton of money, and just buy the cheap U-logs. It's kind of strange. I think it's kind of too late now to even fix the problem, right? Unless they have other ways of training skilling, and this would have to be implemented in a crazy way, something similar to how Invention is on RuneScape 3, and I do not think we should get something like Invention, but it would solve a lot of problems, right? Because if you really go down the list of skilling, you can't make too much money anymore. Like, I'm gonna go down the list right here. Runecrafting, blood runes, right? Nature runes aren't really good anymore. Maybe wrath runes could be good. We have something like agility. I guess the marks of grace can be good because they're kind of at a set price, but still, it's not like crazy good money. Thieving might be actually the best one because it has the blood shards, it has the pharaoh's scepters, and the crystal teleport seeds. You definitely could make a lot of money training thieving, but it's only if you get that rare drop. Fletching is still pretty profitable just because the logs are cheaper than the bows, which is really funny to me. And then we have, like, I guess you can still make money on Hunter because the Chinchompas are always going out of the game, right? And then you could do herbivores too, which herbs, you know, coming into the game and always going out as well. So that's something you could probably still make a decent amount of money on. Mining, you could do something like Amethyst, which is decent money. Amethyst is, again, always going out of the game. And then also with mining, we have, like, you can make Rune, which is set at a high elk price. So obviously that mining will always somewhat be a little bit profitable. Smithing, you could figure out ways to make it profitable. We have things like the Giant's Foundry now, but realistically, you're not going to become a billionaire smithing. Fishing, it's not as good as it used to be. Probably the best would be Karambons, or I'm trying to think, maybe minnows could be somewhat profitable, but again, you're not going to become a billionaire fishing. Cooking is actually a decent one where you can make a good amount of money on, which, again, the cooked resources on this game are the cooked resources on this game are cheaper than, or more expensive than the raw ones. So pretty much every fish in the game you can actually make a profit on, right? Just because so many raw fish are being pumped into the game from all of these bosses and updates that there's not even enough cookers to cook them, so the cooked ones are actually cheaper, which is kind of funny as well. Obviously you can make a little bit of money fire making, but that's again with a boss at Wintertodt, so it's just spitting out materials. And wood cutting, you're not going to make a lot of money with wood cutting. Like, the best methods would, like I said, magic trees, redwoods, even yew trees. You're not going to make a whole lot of money. And farming, I guess you can make money with herb runs and stuff like that. But let's just switch this up a little bit. Say you wanted to make money with combat, okay? Attack, strength, defense, and hit points. Obviously, you can make money with raids, slayers, so much money there. Range, you can make money killing Hydra, killing Vorkath, and just millions and millions of GP per hour. And even with magic, you could do things like barrows, raids, whatever it might be to make a ton of money. Corrupted Gauntlet, right? You can just print money with combat. Slayer, obviously, in the high-end level Slayer, get yourself a Hydra task. That's easily 30 to 50 million GP per task, which is just freaking crazy to me. You could also do things like God Wars, raids, the list goes on and on. You just pretty much print money with combat. The thing is I mostly play my Ironman account, so this really doesn't affect me all too much, but it's just crazy to see how skilling went from being, you always knew you were going to make a little bit less money skilling than combat, but not to the point where it's just not even worth doing anymore, right? Like, you could kill one alchemical Hydra for the exact same amount of time it would take you to chop yew trees for an hour, and you'd make the same money. You might even make more money at Hydra, which is just ridiculous when you actually think about that. Which, it takes, what, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to kill a Hydra, and you make the same amount of money as chopping yew trees for a whole hour. Like, that's just crazy ridiculous to me. I personally really do like skilling. I find it really relaxing and enjoying to do, and it's just really sad to see that you're not going to make a whole lot of money from it anymore. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Do you think skilling should somehow be revived and maybe be able to make a little bit of money again, at least 1 million GP an hour with certain skills? Or do you like the way that it is now, where PVM is king? I'm kind of put in the middle of it. I kind of wish that skilling still had some good methods, but even stuff like I said, like runecrafting, it's just not even good anymore, man. Like, you know, you're gonna do the blood runes just to get 99 runecrafting and make a little bit of money. Like, if you did this a year ago, you'd be doubling your money, which is just crazy. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.